sind Menschen, die wir retten müssen.
The Quiet Place 2 im Kino.
Es gibt noch Stipendien für meine Skills Academy. Ihr trainiert mit den Besten, um selber zu den Besten zu gehören.
Все, let's go.
Что такое?
Nice.
Почему меня жгет?
Найс. Справа, right. Где? Справа, справа. У нас на респе. Сидит, идет.
Сзади. А чё, карта изменилась, что ли?
Да, она меняется. Ты спаун, ты спаун.
Без шансов вообще уволят.
Где я?
Где он?
Да Тимоха с прыжка убивает.
Подвал, левый подвал.
Убегаюсь.
Не выдвигаюсь.
Где?
Слева, слева, слева. О, дальний бой, Тимоха. Да, нечестно, у тебя убершейдеры включены.
Где они? Слева. И справа. Право убил.
По центру.
Где?
Слева был. До сих пор там.
Может, я знаю, бой.
Он у меня в лице.
По центру.
Я не могу. Вот как с Тимфу говорить? Так, стенка откроется. Сейчас смотри, стенка откроется. А почему стенка не открывается? Я в стенку упер.
Слева, сзади тебя где-то был.
Смотри.
Найс.
Привет,
Абай.
Тимоха.
Слева. Красный.
Найс. Абай соло кэриш. В центре. В центре справа.
Первый.
Слева. Ладно.
Ну а что ты, Дима, думал? Я тренировал это оружие.
Два слева. Один 10 хп. Капец, 2-3 фрага. Абай, очень сложное оружие, я так скажу.
Не, вот это классная идея. Жалко, что мы ее в игре не... Чё? Я горю!
Слева. Центр.
Слева у нас на рисуе.
А, это не ты, что ли?
Oh, I see one up there at this house. I'm just gonna go on the right side. Yep, on the right side, trying to go in. Other one's inside the house. Oh my lord! Wow. Oh! Two of them. I'm coming, Bablo.
Inside, in the corner, right doorway.
I'm right side. No! I'm reloading! They're dead. And there's a fella towards gas station. He's gone inside Terry. The one in the gas station is probably gone inside as well.
There's two at Gassy. They're not on the same team either.
I'm gonna dome. Hopefully there's people there. Well, hopefully
There was a guy close. He spotted you. At this house.
Trying to blow up that barrel. He was behind the rock. Yeah, next to the barrel. Just looking at me.
A little bit of a surf going there. Under the patio, just here. We're on close to that ping.
Yeah, he just scouted at me. I'm coming. Nice.
Yeah, I'm on a go.
Good luck. Nice.
I don't know where this guy went. Okay.
Can't see him in the tower. Oh, I saw him. He hit me once. I'm going. I
Yeah,
might
right
die
there.
off this. Nice.
That was a cool dive.
Welcome to another installment of Window Workshoppers. Rushley, word on the street is you don't like knife rounds.
Knife rounds are trash. I hate playing knife rounds. It should be a coin flip every day of the week.
Well, this was kind of a coin flip. We got into a bit of a boxing ring type environment here, and this was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, we're basically trying to look for a different way to do the knife rounds. So we looked at a few different variations. This was one. It was like a little boxing thing. It was okay.
You got owned. I think that's why you're a little bit tentative here about giving it a good rating. So that's why we're going to let me do the rating. This one here, it's going to get 3 bumps out of 5.
Fair enough. Now, Chad, they say CSGO is basically chess but with guns, and I kind of agree with that. So maybe we decide the knife rounds with a little chess game.
It might take a little bit longer than a knife round, so there's a couple of problems there. And look, I won't lie, there were a couple of little problems with, let's say, some glitcheroonies in the game itself, but this was actually a lot of fun, and if they iron out those kinks, I might even play it again.
Yeah, this was legitimate, actually. It functioned very well. This here is me discovering that I had you in check for possibly the past, 5 rounds or something, and we were just slowly discovering that.
I'm glad that you let me live, because it meant that we could play out for a little bit longer here, but yeah, that's one of the problems. I don't know if it automatically enforces any of the rules. There was an issue with the knight as well, taking one of my pawns by accident. So I feel like I got pretty hard done by.
Well, it worked as intended for me, so I think I'm going to give this one a nice 4 out of 5 bump mines, Chad.
Fair enough. You know Uno, the tagline, I think it's something like that, but either way, somebody has put Uno in Counter-Strike, and they have this lovely looking setting, Rush. We're in a saloon, I suppose?
Yeah, this was like a Western theme. We even had little Western skins here, which I've seen these on a couple of different maps, so I don't know if they're actually truly custom, but it was really nice. It looked nice.
Yeah, and I think I went undefeated in this Uno foray that you and I had. So all in all, in terms of the game, I loved it.
Yeah, well, it functioned perfectly as it should. I didn't like the fact that I kept losing. I think the RNG was on your side, but that's how it goes.
Yeah, the game played as we liked, and I guess because of that, we'll give it a 4 out of 5 bumps.
Fair enough.
All right, well, this is ping pong, table tennis, indoor tennis, whiff waff, whatever you want to call it, Rush. I didn't play this one. How was it?
Well, yeah, you were too busy scuba diving or something, so I played with our good friend J-Raz, and it actually functioned surprisingly well. That was a little glitch there, ignore that, but it was pretty good, actually. I was surprised at how well, you could actually control the ball. I mean, look at this, Chad.
Well, this is all made by your mate iMania, huh?
Yeah, so all these, apart from the boxing one, were made by iMania. He seems to focus on a lot of these kind of goofy little maps, and I'm glad he does, because they're pretty unique and pretty fun.
Yeah, it's crazy to see what people have been able to recreate in Counter-Strike, right? Modding the mod even more, and I think I didn't get to play this one, Rush. What are you going to give it?
I'd give this, I want to say 4.5, but the graphics don't allow it, so 4 out of 5 bumps.
Nice.
Oh, like the extra
It's
one.
actually hard to hit each other. Don't
Oh, hit the chicken behind you.
hit the chicken.
No, the chicken, bro. Hit the chicken. You'll get
Want to hit the
something.
chicken?
Hit, bro.
You have a chicken on the right. You see on the game.
What? Yeah, what?
Yo, bro. Bro.
Yeah. Yeah, good luck, bro.
I'm actually.
Okay.
I don't have a decoy. Nice, Mantu.
What?
I killed you. Body shaped like cola.
Yo, catch these heads, cop. Oh.
No! Seems like a real fight.
What happens if you press right click on the knuckles?
Yeah, you do like a superhuman punch, man.
You can flying. Caralho.
Oh, you can actually?
Eu actually do a super punch.
Wow!
Oh, the man.
No, I'm so bad at this because I have 3.6 cents.
Oh,
That's
bro.
good.
No!
Oh, I thought you got him. Oh, that went through me.
Yeah, I did.
Wait, Nikos.
Fuck your moms.
Fuck.
I'm so bad at this.
Get the chicken. No!
That's my first kill.
What?
Oh,
That was
guys,
the longest arm ever.
Oh.
yeah, I saw you reached up. Man, you can double kill.
Okay, we won.
Intel Extreme Masters Summer is brought to you by Intel, Acer Predator, 1xBet, and DHL.
These are those moments I don't think anybody else is going to forget.
The IEM Summer semi-finals have come and gone, and when it was all over, only 2 teams were left standing into today's grand final. The first battle was between OG and Vitality, and both teams came into the match looking very good indeed. Dust 2 was the first destination, and OG started off strong with a 9-6 half on their CT side. But Vitality started the second half, winning 6 out of the first 8 rounds played, ultimately pushing the game into overtime. On the French side, it was Apex and Shox that showed up with stunning performances absolutely worthy of a semi-final game. But on OG's side, it was the unholy Danish-Britpole alliance of Valder and Mantu that sealed Vitality's fate on Dust 2, winning the map 19-17.
Apex and Shox is the old boys to defend their honor. Mantu falls off the boost, the shots are hit, Valder's done enough. And now pushing for the final blow. Shox, he adjusts for the first, and Mantu can't seem to find the trade. The smoke has worked wonderfully, M4 equipped, and Mantu has saved the day for OG. Just in the nick of time, they'll take it in OT for OG.
This narrow result turned out to be very significant as the second map, Mirage, did not look good for OG. Things were off to a promising start as they picked up 7 rounds on their T side, with really everyone on the OG side playing well. When it came time for the second half, Vitality reminded us of why they were really here. The combination of Saiwu and Masuta, which has to be one of the scariest in the world right now, dropped a combined 45 kills and only let OG have 2 rounds on their CT side, winning Mirage 16-9.
Masuta left to clutch up again. Another 1v3. He's cooking it up. Looking to be the closer. We knew he could be. Another from Masuta. The semi-finals, just another embodied performance of this rising star, and it's going to be Alexi B, the next victim.
This brought the match to Overpass, statistically a strong map for Vitality. But on this particular day, newcomer to the team, Flamesy, went on an absolutely amazing rampage, and OG managed to secure 8 rounds on their T side in the first half. Kyojin, who is the latest pickup on Vitality, nearly matched that output, but the rest of Vitality just were not able to get enough done on the T side, as OG only let 3 rounds slip through, making the IEM Summer Grand Finals by winning Overpass 16-10.
Can he really finish it off? Apex fakes, he's looking the wrong way. Flames takes OG to the grand final.
In the second semi-final, G2 had the unenviable task of taking on Gambit, who play a kind of Counter-Strike that nobody in the world right now knows how to deal with. Even the map veto turned out to be a real problem, as Gambit got Vertigo through, which was never going to be good news for G2. Hunter did show up with a great performance at 21 kills, but the problem remains that everyone on Gambit is rock solid, and the first half ended 13-2 in Gambit's favor. To G2's credit, they fought back on their own T side, much harder than many people were expecting. But the deficit was too much to overcome, and ultimately they were pushed off the side of the building by Gambit at 16-10.
This is Gambit's pick, and they have demonstrated as to why. A 13-2 half.
Now, much theorizing and speculation has been done about Ancient and what it means for the current state of the game, and G2 decided to risk it all on the unknown. Hoping that Gambit would have neglected to look too much into the map, G2 sailed into Ancient and were promptly blown up by an obviously very well prepared Gambit. The first half again ended 13-2, and just like on Vertigo, there was no way back for G2 from such a scoreline. Nafany was in charge of the game and seemed very much at home on the map, with 24 kills at the end. Incredibly, Nexa outdid this scoreline with 29 kills of his own. But Counter-Strike is about more than just the kills, and in the end, G2 was simply outcalled on Ancient, losing 9-16 and launching Gambit into the IEM Summer Grand Final.
He'd have to fake it and
find the
they'd
bomb.
have to line up. He still can't find
It's
them.
a nightmare.
He's swapping weapons with them in the middle of a clutch. Oh, and Gambit will take it. Shiro confirmed he's not on the bomb. All you have to do is survive, and the bomb will take it. There you have it.
Today's best of 5 grand final is sure to be packed full of incredible Counter-Strike, so raise your slushies in honor of the fallen teams as we prepare for the war between OG and Gambit.
Welcome to Championship Sunday. This is the grand finals of IEM Summer. My name is Frankie Ward. I'm joined by Kassad and Yanko for one last summery hurrah. Gentlemen, you're looking absolutely hot to trot. Kassad, hello.
Hi.
How are you?
This is I prepared this like 2 weeks ago when I found out I'm gonna be here. Worked really hard, to be honest, to get into the gym every day. It's a shame it didn't work out, but you know, I tried. So.
You tried your best, yeah. You know, I didn't know if you knew this, Frankie, but his favorite character, cartoon character, is Ariel. You know.
Yeah, so I'm honoring that.
So he's honoring that with his shirt.
And you're honoring Ursula with yours.
Yeah, I'm honoring, I don't know what, Narcos TV show, something like that. That's how it looks like. But basically, yeah, we just went for the ridiculous summery shirts. That's been the vibe this whole event.
Yeah, we just follow the vibe.
Yeah, I think the charity shop down the road from me is going to have a field day with the 7 shirts that I'm going to be dropping off to them on Monday. Listen, let's talk about yesterday's semi-finals. Kassad, after the quarterfinals, you were convinced that Vitality were going to make it to this point, but OG were just too strong.
Yeah, it was an interesting game. And yesterday it was like a back and forth, and it went all 3 maps. They swapped their picks. I thought that Zaivu was going to show up in that last map on Overpass, but he wasn't really there. It was like back and forth in terms of like the last half. Actually, the second half for OG was a bit tight with money. They managed to pull through together. I was super surprised, and that one game that was played yesterday was really good. The other one was basically practice, so we didn't want to count that one in.
I'm not quite over that yet. Yanko, you must feel a little bit slighted still by G2 after that Gambit match.
Yeah, I mean, interesting approach from G2 coming into that game. I mean, I would have expected them to try and, beat Gambit with, anything they could and build confidence for the 2 tournaments that they want to play. I'm really questioning that sort of an approach. I mean, if you're the best team and you're beating everyone and you want to save something and like work on some new thing, like if it was Gambit thinking that way, I could understand that. But you need to earn your way into that very top, into that top 3. I don't think G2 is there yet, but
See how we swapped roles today?
If they come out and, I don't know, like win Blast and Cologne, then what can we say? But I think the players always talk about confidence and feed off of confidence, and this was the perfect tournament for them, to give it 110% to win it, and then off of that confidence, it's all you need to perform better at the other tournaments. Like you practice, you have your own things, but
it was their chance to get the point for the Grand Slam race as well.
Yeah,
no, it was a very decent chance, and they decided to gamble a little bit, and didn't really work out.
Exactly, Kassad. They ignore the fact that this is an Intel Grand Slam event. And today, Gambit can add a notch to their tally. You notice that gold trophy. That is because Gambit and also Na'Vi, as you'll notice, won a championship level event, of which there are 2 per year, Katowice and Cologne, which is coming up. If you win one of those championship level events, you only need to win 4 events out of your next 9, so 10 events in total, including the one you first won, to take that $1 million bonus from Intel in the Grand Slam. So it's really, really key in a way for a team like Gambit to win today, because if they do, they could then do it in the next couple of events in Cologne and ESL Pro League after the player break as well. And that leads us on to Cologne, because we've kind of had an indication as to the runners and riders heading into the play-ins and the group stage, Janko, because for me, Vitality are a big one. We didn't really think they were going to deliver much at this tournament. We thought they were still maybe in stasis after adding Kyojin, but actually they proved us wrong, really, and they impressed us here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think they played a great team Counter-Strike as well. Kassad was talking the whole tournament about their game plans and how they were well thought out and well executed, and also just basically the rise of Misuta as that second star. If he can keep that up in the future tournaments, I think Vitality is back to being a contender and definitely maybe not winning the tournament, but ruining the plans of someone else.
Yeah, I definitely think they rose up a lot since the disaster they had in the last couple of months. And like Janko said, Misuta was the one that actually helped Zaivu during that event. And like I said, that a lot of team Counter-Strike, a lot of good game plans. But we also need to mention the fact that EG made it to the playoffs. It's they have been in a rough patch so far and losing their coach, and the disaster as well on RMR, and a lot of time spent in America and then coming into Europe. Getting to the playoffs is a big thing for them coming into the next 2 events they have to play.
And they just need to work on those 2 sides. It sounds like from Stanislaw's last interview with us that they've changed everything, Janko. So hopefully they can change their fortunes going into Cologne. One team we haven't spoken about because they didn't make it to the playoffs is Heroic. They're already in the group stage of Cologne. Do we think, Kassad, that they can bounce back?
The thing is, like, they even said it before. I think Katie mentioned in an interview during Pro League or maybe even Katowice that they're playing good, that we need to all understand that it's a very tight schedule, and sometimes it can be a little bit tiring when you play so many matches all the time. And then the event like this can happen. It happened to Astralis, it happened to them, and
it didn't happen to Gambit, though.
Well, we'll see in Cologne. So the thing is, I agree with Katie and there, and I believe that maybe this was a one-off. I'm a big fan of Heroic team right now, so I'm going to be sticking on being on their side for this one.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was just a one-off, a bit of a bump in the road, but I expect them fully to be there in Cologne and to be ready and be one of the main contenders for the title.
Speaking of bumpy, Virtus Pro. Janko, you've got a few moments to tell us whether you changed your mind on them. Are you looking forward to seeing them in the group stage of Cologne?
No, let's just go to the teams that are in the final now. I think we're all ready for that.
Yeah, I do.
All right then.
You earn your chance to be talked about.
Finally, the 3 of us are in agreement. We're going to head to a break because we just can't wait to get the grand final underway. OG versus Gambit coming up after the break.
Do you think you know everything about CSGO? Then stay alert and look out for the DHL drop quiz on the ESL CSGO Twitch channel.
Yes, nice shot, my friend.
Cheaters ruining your plays?
I have eyes on the enemy.
Bad servers stopping your shots? What you need is ESEA. Advanced anti-cheat to stop cheaters. And the best servers around, all with 128 tick rate. ESEA, the best way to play CSGO.
I think one of the things that we've seen with OG this tournament is the firepower. And I don't just mean in terms of having sharp individuals who are mechanically sound, I mean their multi-frag ability. And if anybody was following OG with the roster that preceded this one, you take a little bit of look at Mantu, who came from nowhere, picked up primary AWP, and I think he's blown everybody away with his level of performance. We've got Valda, a man who once upon a time was considered, if Astralis ever needed a player, he would be the pickup from Denmark. And then Alexi B, the promised in-game leader from Finland. All of those pieces made sense. And you consider what we're seeing out of them now and what we're seeing out of them in this event, Flames and Nico coming in are much needed firepower upgrades.
Circ with a double, Alexi to clutch. It's not looking easy at all. Trying to reposition. The spray actually catches Circ, not the defuse. Stabilizes! Flames, can you really be the full hero package? Oh, maybe you can. Takes down Stan. It's only 2 for Circ, and he takes the 5 Flames. They actually can do this. They're doing it. Circ, however, caught out, tries to deny the plant, finds me who Flames is doing it. This is great.
Right now with OG, it's the bolstered firepower met with the classic way that Alexi B is in-game led. Very, very solid style of CS. The fundamentals are there, and now they even have that flair, so things are looking great for OG.
Flames won't be able to control both sides of this, and I say that, perhaps he's about to prove me wrong. Yeah, here they come, all into his spray, and he's up to 10.
By now, Alexi has had and Raga have had enough time to, figure out how to best use Flames and Nico. So I think they have a good balance of, they were always a team that's going to have structure, right, and just approach rounds in a sensible way, not play too loose, but also you always want to have players be comfortable in their roles and maybe some of the moves that they like to go for. You want to enable them to do that, and I think right now OG has found a good mix where they're stable, they have things to fall back on, but they also have rounds or plays or openings where they can let guys like Flames, who's incredibly talented, right, have a little bit more freedom and just make things happen for OG.
IEM Summer is a springboard to the tail end of the first season of 2021. If OG can go to that grand final, they can have a competitive run. It could do wonders for that confidence. And with IEM Cologne coming up as the way to close out the year, it could mean wonders to this team. It could really see them take that next step to being a championship caliber squad.
Out of the shadows, I've come to make a name. Ready for battle, 'cause I got a thing to claim. Think that I'll crumble, I'll show you in the light. Where you see me coming, better run for cover, 'cause I'm not so.
Welcome to the grand final of IEM Summer. We are just moments away from OG versus Gambit, our best of 5 final. But first, we've got to talk about what to expect. My name is Frankie Ward. I'm joined by Kassad and Yanko. And first of all, we are going to take a walk down memory lane for Yanko, because the last best of 5 grand final that OG were actually in was IEM New York Europe last October, shortly before Yanko departed from FaZe. Can you remember much about that match, especially as you won it, Yanko?
Yeah.
I'm surprised then, I shouldn't be.
Yeah, actually I can. We lost to OG in the group stage, so it was a bit of a revenge game for us. And I think I could definitely notice with OG, they didn't play up to the same level, right? You could definitely tell the players were a bit more nervous. They were making some mistakes, especially in the last 2 maps. Mirage was really close going into double overtime, but, they were gifting us some rounds, so to speak. And I think that's down to them playing the first time in a big grand final, against well, tier 1 team, I think it's okay to say. But yeah, and I think as any team, as any lineup, you have to go through those motions, right? And look at Gambit on the other side. Won Katowice, Grand Final Pro League, Grand Final DreamHack, Grand Final winning the CIS RMR. So they definitely got a lot of experience playing those finals, and I think that's going to be the biggest hurdle for OG coming into this one.
Yeah, they also got like 5 finals in a row or something, and they managed to get experience. Last time the OG was in the actual finals was in the Flashpoint season 2, if I'm not wrong.
Maybe. You're absolutely right. Back in December.
Back in December. So yeah, it's quite a long time ago, and they have 2 new players obviously, and it's going to be a challenge for them against experienced team like Gambit. Such a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
I mean, experienced in the last 6 months.
We can't forget though, OG is on a 7-match win streak. Mantu's the highest rated player still left in the tournament with a 1.34 rating. Sorry, Mantu, Zywoo existed, so unfortunately he's still top. But Axile and Shiro are not far behind, and then Flames is on 1.26. So looking at these stats and considering they're across the entire tournament, maybe this is the matchup we should have expected all along, Yanko.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see Mantu, especially in Flames, too, performing on a high level. But the reason I still give the edge to Gambit, even in that department, is they first had to play 2 games in the playoffs already. OG was straight into the semifinal. And it's also, you can see how Shiro, for example, he only showed up in the top 10 in the playoffs, right? If you look at the groups, he wasn't really there. So they are improving their form, improving their performances as the stage gets bigger, and that's what you always want from a team.
That's when Astralis was like the hardest to beat. And when it comes to playoffs, they would like do the groups.
They would get through the groups
fairly good, and then they hit the playoffs. They hit another level completely that you cannot catch up with, similar to Gambit right now. And Shiro Exile, against Mantu and Flames is going to be a really solid matchup between those 4 players. But I feel like we need to get back to that multiple finals thing, and then how are they going to perform, especially Flames, in the first massive final for him, And then obviously we have Shiro and Exile being there for the 5th, 6th time right now.
Well, OG, they don't just have the big guns of Mantu and Flames. They also have the big brain of Alexi B. And so, who better than to delve into that brain than Anders?
OG are a team that appear to have found a great mix of individual skill and leadership, and as a result, they are an absolutely deadly team to match up against. An example of how OG approached their T-side executes can be found in their game against EG in the IEM Summer Group stage. On Dust 2, one of the most well-known T-side executes is the B-split, but very often this setup for a B-split is very readable for the defending CTs. This is because the smokes that are thrown to block out CT spawn take a long time to land, and you have time to call in rotations and prepare. In both rounds 4, 11 and 12, they walk out of the middle doors, not just with no smokes, but with no flashbangs or anything else to alert the enemy team to what is coming next. The results are absolutely devastating. See if you can identify these moments and read the game within the game.
Kassad, do you think OG can get away with those cheeky contact plays against Gambit today?
If you think Dust 2, maybe. Other maps, I'm not so sure about. The Gambit is very prepared. They said it themselves multiple times. They know how to I have to make a reference to Astralis again. Astralis was very prepared for any situation you can throw out to them, like any basic, normal meta situation. Gambit is similar right now. They react properly on everything that's in you need something unusual, you need something specific, you need something that's specifically for them.
Yeah, definitely. I just think that, in preparation, for example, team tries to walk out on you. What do? You put an AWP there, and he just gets the easy first kill. After that, support comes in. So I agree. Gambit is going to be very prepared for what OG throws their way.
Well, if you look at the 10 full events that Gambit have competed in this year, they've made the finals of 50% of them. Is it too early to start talking about Gambit having an era, Yanko?
I think it would be a bit disrespectful to other teams to call this a proper era. If we want to call it like online era, like maybe something like that, but I just wouldn't use the word. I think for teams like Astralis, Fnatic, that we've had really dominate on LAN and big events for a period of time, you're doing great, Gambit. props to you. I think everyone loves them and the way they play. There's no doubt about that. But let's see it now as we slowly start going back to normal. Let's see you continue that, and then it's going to be an even better
we
story.
can call it an era, yeah. Especially when you have to think about the major coming in. You know, these things are easily forgotten. Like part of the year like this. Sure, the results are great, right? They have like multiple titles, finals, everything. But when we go into the major, these things, and we get a new major champion, these things are easily forgotten.
Well, when you look at these two gentlemen, it surely can't be long before we get to see Gambit delighting audiences around the world at a LAN. People are going to go absolutely crazy once those two finally hit the stage. But they're going to be bringing a lot of technical know-how of their own, not just strategically, but obviously with the guns as well. So here's Anders again to talk about Gambit's game within a game.
In an effort to explain why Gambit are so good, things like they just hit their shots or they have a lot of confidence can sometimes seem a bit vague and don't paint a very good picture of what this means. In the IEM Summer Group stage, Gambit played Complexity on Mirage, and one particular round highlights the absolute madness that is Gambit in its current state. That round is round number 7. Gambit start by throwing 3 common grenades for mid control on the T side, and they are smoke at top mid, smoke at the CT window, and a Molotov towards connector. They then set up a run boost to jump Nafany behind the hay card at top mid, which would have been very dangerous had they not thrown the previous 3 grenades. But it's the perfect move for Blamef's position as he can't see Nafany while he's airborne, and is suddenly very exposed. Once Blamef is down, Nafany is on 23 health from a grenade by Poison, but he pushes on while Hobbit takes down Config and Connector. In this exact moment, Gambit know almost everything about the CT setup. It would have been 3 middle, 1A, 1B with 99% certainty. Nafany takes the opportunity to push through both smokes in Connector, causing JKS to turn around and get killed by Intus at the A Palace, ending his run by catching Rush in the window. These choices are made so incredibly quickly, and they exemplify everything about why playing Gambit can be a real nightmare. See if you can identify these moments and read the game within the game.
Janka, we're nearly ready to go into the veto. I know that you've got some theories about the maps that we're going to be seeing here today, because this is our first best of 5 final since the removal of Train.
And these teams never played each other, so it's interesting to see that actually it's a decent map pool for OG coming into it. So I have Train here as well for one reason. Overpass, Train, Vertigo, 3 incredibly strong maps for Gambit, and one of the main reasons why they became the best team in the world. But what happens now? Vertigo, permaban for OG, Train is not in the pool, and on Overpass, it's 100% win rate so far for OG. Obviously, the one difference there that we have is Ancient, that we saw Gambit beat G2 yesterday, but I don't think Gambit is a team that's going to pick this map in this series early on. I think they just feel they're the better team all around, and that they can play, you know, the quote-unquote normal maps and still get out on top. But this shows you that OG, maybe there's a way in for
I think going into the veto, Ancient will be the last one. I was thinking this like backwards, so yeah, see the Gambit picking Mirage. I think that's kind of a surprise. And then Dust 2 for OG as a second map.
I would expect it to go the other way around.
Same. That's what I was surprised. Overpass.
This
Again,
makes sense.
A little bit of a surprise because of 100% win rate for OG. I don't think Gambit respects that much. Inferno is the 4th, and obviously Ancient is the last. I think Gambit scared off OG with that victory yesterday.
And you can see how a team who has confidence and feels like they're the better team, like they shoot vetoes in a game. Like, yeah, we know they probably don't play Ancient, like they're taking that risk, but we don't need to take it either to go on a random map.
This is a reference to G2, who doesn't understand. So G2, this is for G2.
Take notes here, right? Like this,
okay.
You know, but I think in the end, Overpass, sure, OG is 100% on it, but for Gambit, it's been in every playoff so far. It's been their go-to map. They always do well when it counts, and I think they're going to take this one as well. I agree.
All right, then. Your predictions are down, gentlemen. Twitch chat, let us all know what you're thinking. I can't call it either way, but one thing I do know is that no one does it better than our casters for this grand final. Sponge and Machine.
Far too kind, far too kind. Thank you, Frankie Ward, Kassad, and YNK. They're setting the stage. A best of 5 to finish off IEM Summer. Ancient, should we require it? I'm not going to get excited just yet. Gambit, of course, given the edge. And Chad, let's see if they can make an early impact here. OG getting into this grand final, and Mantu already getting way more than he bargained for. Flames is tested as well. And they just run over the ramp defense. Nice from Alexi. Good find from him. They're tucked into Dark. He'd love a frag onto Shiro. That suppressing P250 from Palace is enabled a full bomb plant. Axel ready to swing off of his own fake flash. Oh, it works! Valda wiggles his mouse away, and this round starts to fall away.
Oh, they're still going to have a look in for this here. Not just trying to get a couple kills out the door and hold on to that Kevlar. They want to contest. Alexi low, Nico now getting peppered on down. This one's looking done and dusted. A great start from Gambit, and I think momentum is going to be a huge factor for OG, right? It's going to be a massive factor for the underdog team here, as the Des spoke about. Gambit have been here plenty of times before. This is business as usual now. We know that they don't love the best of 5. Let me give you the cliches early. The marathon, not the sprint.
I did forget about the Gambit best of 5, of course. In fact, ending on Mirage in one recent memory. Definitely have vocalized complaints about it in the past, but we're ready to be getting into our second round. And OG are going to be keeping it actually relatively conservative. I say that as Flames will buy extra utilities, so just Mantu preserving without that Kevlar for his AWP. Do see the scout on Alexi, so he's got quite a lot of bang for his buck here. Doesn't choose to pull the trigger. They're out mid.
Is that Vaseline on his camera there as well?
Yeah.
I get
from the shoot he was doing last night.
This is a pretty default spread. Nothing risky from OG. They've Nico and Volda, the standard Danes holding the B bomb site. Mantu's in swing, so they are ready for a bit of a B split. OG hedging in a good way.
Oh dear, that's 2 opening frags from Hobbit. 2 rounds in, and every time someone walks into his crosshair, he has deleted them. And this one's going to end on B. Nice find. Mantu's unarmored Deagle would have to do a whole lot more. He is a good gamer, isn't he? Finding another head. Unfortunately, Flames has been handed a 1v3. Bombs down on B. Nafany locking the door behind him. I wonder if he'll even think about it. Nope. And Nafany not brave enough to whip out his knife. Can't fault him there. Flames falls. 3 for Exile into B. And so far, just an absence of frags from OG. They are in a weird spot now that Force Buy will force them to swallow the bitter pill of 3.
Yeah, when we have this save, I think we need to talk about some win conditions for OG, because once again, Gambit have been here plenty of times. So going through the motions, right, they just need to make sure that they can get that final blow to secure the grand final. But for OG, the list needs to be Mantu with this MVP level form. It has to continue. Flames, we need to see the version of him from the group stage, right? The consistency over this series. And Alexi is going to need the full trust of his team here, because trying to outcall Nafany and co in the mid-rounds is not going to be any easy task. There can't be any second-guessing whatsoever.
I mean, the Des kind of touched on it, but I want to make it really clear that when we get to OG's T-sides, it's going to be so interesting to see how much Alexi will be able to get away with the world-class information gathering of Gambit. You know, like how much will he be able to smoke and mirrors and maneuver in the same way Anders highlighted in the pregame? You know, how much will he get away with when these boys are the very best in the world at finding information safely and reacting as a unit?
It's not going to be easy.
Yeah, saying that, OG, I've talked about it as well. You know, Alexi gave that interview talking about how it's a huge priority for his CT sides to be getting that information, and it's the fundamentals that they operate in. So we'll see. We'll see. It is Mantu and his MVP, Deagle.
He's been having a great tournament, right? I think he's been a difference maker in a lot of the games, especially for OG in that playoff match just yesterday. Flames showed up on Overpass to close things out, and that was what they needed. I think Nico, if you're going to look at his stats and what we remember him delivering in Heroic, that hasn't come to fruition just yet in OG, but they've only been here, I think, for a couple of months. So it's not like this team has been together for a long time. And we know that the OG of old had some issues. What was that stat line that came on out yesterday after we inquired? We were talking about the fact that they always lose their own map picks. Now, that's in best of 3s. In best of 5s, you're not going to worry about that one so much. And especially with how much overlap there is in the map pool, highlighted perfectly by Yanko.
Oh, yeah, but the stats, I think someone did a fantastic, I think it was the 3rd thread, someone's been keeping track of it, but the trend still stays with OG in terms of they've lost much more commonly their own map pick than they have taken in enemies. It was like 47% success on an opponent's map pick and sub 40 for their own map.
Yeah, that's not what you're looking for if you want to find some 2-0 success in those types of series. But let's hone our eyes on in here with round number 4. The guns will come out. Mantu into the big green. M4's no dramas, and the util looking good as well. We're on kit watch here early, and there won't be one in play as you're getting the highlights of the Eco Bash.
Shiro getting 3 SMG frags as well. Definitely
Going to have lots of cash in his coffer for that AWP, and he is going to be equipped with one coming into this one. Nafany provides it for him, so he gets to continue to nurture his bank account and balance. 3 to mid and a nade to the nose. Nafany into mid, and not going to be deterred by this. Hobbits alongside for the ride to trade. Alexi could get swung on. Oh, just in this blind spot. He reacts well. He lives on as well. Hobbit perhaps going to get played around this smoke. Alexi's aggressing.
Bit of a gap here.
Slight gap. Can he see the shoulder? He's actually plucked Shiro. Hobbit can't find him either on the wild spray. Alexi could finish the round right here. Off of the softening nade. Toes visible. A third. Alexi takes control of round 4.
On his lonesome.
Uh-oh. Could get awkward if Mantu did get traded. Looks like the smoke will have done its job. Lurk smoke to Inter's detriment here.
How much damage can he do? A couple more kills would be nice. Keep OG humbled. That is a massive play from Alexi there. 55 seconds left. Valda's closing the door on any maneuvers Inters wants to make back towards the B bomb site. Well, there you have it, OG on the board, and I really want to push home how huge that was from Alexi, single-handedly in middle, just taking the round and grabbing there first. If he has some more inspired plays like that, that will get the team fired up, right? That's going to make individuals like Flames comfortable. Hey, the boss man's doing it. I need to show my star potential.
Let me see how much he sees of Shiro. Oh, okay, perfect gap. And the fact he somehow evades that Hobbit response. Look at those traces. Just as he moves and the smoke fading at the perfect moment for Alexi to find his third round, defining stuff from the Finn. And he's dropped straight back into mid. He plans to contest. Mantu aggressive warping towards the B side. That's going to be a bit of a problem if they turn up the speed on this towards A.
Yeah, looking like an A piece right now, and it's just Flames over towards Ticket. So the youngster has a chance to step up here. Nico will be in tow from Connector, but all the pressure on the anchor.
He's been thriving under this high-pressure environment. Seems to have spotted one Tetris with his movement and does dunk Hobbit down. Whoa, great play. Flames stands and delivers from Ticket. Nico responsive. Incendiary buys time. Safe from the Palace swing for now, and it does seem like a cancel's been called. Flames. Gambit come a knock-in, and he says no.
Yeah, they're actually going to dip on back with 3 of them here, just leaving Axar looking for a head. With that AWP, they can go searching, but we're sub 1 minute at this junction. We're working with 1 flashbang for the Gambit assault.
Dude, Mantu's been here for 50 seconds.
This is patient stuff.
I wonder.
They're even going to clear this? It's just so late
if they
to
don't,
check.
the AWP flank is going to be so fruity. Does he take it? He must have to. It's not like he's going to go back through mid. Oh, Exo with the bomb. Imagine. That's the bomb spotted and eliminated. That will slow him down as it slides down the ramp. Goes for a quick ski trip. Valda pops up and says hello and goodbye to Nafany. Playing the angles. Lovely reaction from Inters, his first contribution. But unfortunately, with 18 seconds left, Shiro doesn't have many options available to him.
He's going to do the thing he loves the most. Hold on to that AWP. Just,
really
I reckon he goes to sleep with that AWP at night. You know, cuddling it, wakes up next to it. Probably wakes up in a hot sweat sometimes thinking he's lost it.
No, I reckon he just has dreams of saves. You know, like he has just dreams of this 1v5 save. He's bouncing around.
They're chasing him. He's just hiding in
Nice, bro, nice!
He can hear the footsteps. Oh, yeah, I've got the AWP.
I saved the AWP, that's it. That's the highest octane action he gets. And we will see a timeout now called by Gambit. That's in response to 2 almost spotless rounds. They had 4 hearts beating at the end of both of those. So OG definitely digging their heels in now to start this grand final off competitive. I mean, how many times have we cast Gambit? We just see those 6-7 rounds. People talk about it, like when you're not in the mental side of Counter-Strike, you kind of channel back in and it's 9-0 and the game's over.
Yeah, been slapped in the face.
Yeah.
We'll start playing now.
Shoot,
Look, yesterday, I think we saw a couple of times where, I don't want to say G2 were given a chance to get back in, but they definitely were able to work their way back in with respectable scorelines.
Eventually, 13-2, yeah.
And felt EG similar, right? In some of those situations, they were able to put a slew of rounds together and keep it competitive. If OG can start out like this and, you know, make sure that those massive mountains of rounds can't be built on up, we may have a competitive series on our hands. It will be the force buy for Gambit around the saved AWP. Tech9's Deagle's U-tilt. And that Molotov was to deny the Windows smoke. We can see nothing was thrown on just the on top cat. And they're setting up for some B pressure as well as Palace pressure. So attempting to exploit the extremities. Gambit early.
3 OG players investigating middle, and Alexi wants answers. Now, Nafany is in a position to try and deny that. He's actually falling back into the folds of Gambit. So Shiro does seem to be uninterested about walking further and deeper into B-apps. I think the smoke ballooned after Valder's thrown a deep incendiary smoke combo. He's bought plenty of time, so much so it looks like Gambit are regrouping now.
That's all the util from Valder used, so he will just have to lie and wait here. Probably take contact and then swing on out. Has Nico over towards this short position to set up the crossfire. Mantu and Alexi still have all this mid info. So right now you're expecting either an A execute or a B execute. Mid is completely clear. We have less than a minute to go.
Yeah, it's Hobbit's alone on A. I wonder if he's going to take any contact and if that will force an early rotate out of them. Let's find out how the contact goes down. Oh, lots of steps. They know it's B. Bomb spotted. Nafany falls. Valder holds the line. Axel, the next victim. They will fall one by one into the scope. And Hobbit, just that tail end of the assault. Alexi got stuck in the door frame, turned his back to his enemy, and Hobbit strikes. Another solid connection, though, for OG. They'll take it with 3 players still standing. Lots of cash to splash. And Gambit, off the back of their timeout, are forced by around the AWP. It falls flat.
Yeah, we're going to have 2,900 as the loss bonus going into the next. So this will just be a little bit of a pistol upgrade round as technical timeout has been called. Just need to fix a couple of heebie-jeebies in the system over there for OG and we'll be able to get underway. But, we can see Nico. He's on the move. I don't know what's going on, but he's on the move.
They said they're closing the window.
Oh, okay. Maybe
So
it's the pollen coming in?
It could be pollen. It could be sunlight.
Yeah, that's a problem too.
See, Hobbit's got optimal gaming lighting rig there. Shiro exclusively tans from his screen.
That's what I did for many years.
Yeah.
It's a good way to do things.
That's how most of us do it.
It's a cheaper version of the solarium, I've heard.
Solarium. That's a word I only see when I'm in Germany. Solarium.
They definitely love it over here, mate.
No, they're not anymore.